Hello there, I'm glad you decided to join me on this small quest. Well, we're well into a new year, and a new year means new games to check out, and this year has some great ones coming. So I'd like to take this time to discuss some of the games I'm really looking forward to checking out this year. Now, this list is in no particular order, it's just a list of games that I'm really looking forward to. However, this is my list, so there'll probably be some games that you're looking forward to that I don't mention here. So, if a game that you're looking forward to isn't here, then feel free to put your list in the comments. I'm always on the hunt for new games to play, so your lists will help me find those new titles to check out. So our first game today is one that we really don't have a lot to go off, if I'm honest. However, it's looking very promising, especially for people who love a certain retro game franchise. So let's gush about Bomb Rush Cyberfunk. Well, if Sega aren't going to give us anything Jet Set Radio related, then let's see the indie developers do it. Bomb Rush Cyberfunk sees you explore a futuristic metropolis and dance, paint, trick, and face off with the cops. And this is all soundtracked by original Jet Set Radio composer Hideki Naganuma. As said in the intro to this one, we really don't have a lot to go off. We've had a couple of short trailers and that's about it. However, from what we've seen, it really is a spiritual success of Jet Set Radio. It has everything you would expect, and I'm all in. I only played Jet Set Radio a few years ago, and when I finished it, I was on that bandwagon of fans wishing there was more after Jet Set Radio Future, the sequel to Jet Set Radio. So I'm really happy to see a developer take the reins and give us more. You can really see this is being made by fans of the original games, as they made sure to keep the art style the same. Each character we've seen has a very graphic art style, which was the direction of the original game. Essentially, each character was designed to look like it could be a logo for something, and these new characters have really kept that trend. They've also kept the timeless cel shading style from the original games. Even some of the glimpses of levels we have seen in the trailers remind me of levels from Jet Set Radio. I'm also very pleased to hear the awesome music of Hideki Naganuma with this. His instantly recognisable music is what completes the package of Jet Set Radio. From what we've heard from the trailers and the one track that's been released, Jack the Funk, I'm very happy to hear we're getting more instantly classic tunes that I can't wait to listen to on repeat outside the game. I'm very hopeful that we'll get a release date announcement, or at least a demo in the near future, as I'm sure all the fans of Jet Set Radio are with me in saying we are desperate to play this. So next up is a game I never thought would happen, as you wouldn't expect a game from this franchise. However, when you think about it, it's a franchise that's perfect for cozy gaming. This is Snufkin, Melody of Moominvalley. Based on the popular series of books and comics by Tove Jansson, Snufkin Melody of Moominvalley is a musical adventure game where you play as Snufkin, trying to restore harmony and balance to Moominvalley. This is because a series of parks have been built by the industrious park keeper, ruining the natural beauty of the valley. As said in the intro, I never thought a Moomin game would ever be released, but now we have one on the way and it looks just lovely. Watching the interviews with the developers Hyper Games, you can see they are really making sure to make the game feel like it's straight from the pages of the original books. They've matched that distinct Moomin art style perfectly. I can tell this is going to be one that people will be gushing over regarding the look of the game. I know this is a huge jump in styles, but it really feels like when Stick of Truth was coming out, and people were so excited to play it, as it felt like playing an episode of South Park. From what we've seen in various trailers, it looks like it's going to have some stealth elements, which is something I've not seen too much in wholesome style games. With Snufkin visiting the various parks, sneaking round past the park keepers, and causing a little mischief. I can't see this being Metal Gear levels of stealth, but it's certainly going to be very interesting. It's also an open world game, which is also very interesting, so you'll probably be able to visit each park in whatever order you want. On your journey to each park, you will have puzzles to solve, which may uncover some secrets. The music sounds like it's going to be a joy to listen to, and really feels like it's going to complement the visuals on screen. I watched a live melody of some of the music from composer Uda Tilset, and it was a lovely listen. There were moments in this when I was listening to it that it felt very familiar, and I thought to myself, Uda's a Sigur Rós fan. If you haven't heard of Sigur Rós, they're an Icelandic band that makes very atmospheric and melancholic music. Give them a listen if you fancy something a little different. Well, to my surprise, at the end of the performance, it was announced that Sigur Rós are working in partnership with the developers to create the soundtrack. When this comes out, I'll be checking out the game with my daughter, as I think she would really enjoy it. She's very familiar with the Moomins, as we watched the 1990 animated series together, and she really enjoyed it. Again, I never thought we'd get a Moomins game. However, I'm very excited that we're getting one, and it's going to be a day one purchase for sure. Now we go from gentle and melancholic to fast and colourful with our next game. I love rhythm games, and it looks like this next one is ticking all the right boxes. So let's get into the groove of Bits and Bops. Bits and Bops is a collection of rhythm mini-games. It features upbeat original music, a custom engine with a fast response time, and a hand-drawn 2D animation style. This was started on Kickstarter and has been very successful by passing its goal and even achieving its stretch goals. The demo features 3 mini-games: Flipper Snapper, a game where you need to take photos of a steel bouncing a ball, Hammer Time, where you need to hammer the nails in time with the music, and finally, Meet and Tweet, where you play a canary responding to a bluebird's tweets. Not that kind of tweet. My favourite was probably Hammer Time. The mini games took a little time to get used to, but once things click into place, they are so much fun. It's very responsive, so the custom engine is doing its job. The music in this is so catchy. They feel like the sort of songs you could hum outside the game. The animation is just gorgeous, and it was hard to play the games as I just wanted to watch the animation. If you like games like WarioWare and Rhythm Heaven, then this will be right up your alley. I love a good rhythm game, and my main games in this genre has always been Guitar Hero and Rock Band. However, as said, some of the levels did need a little getting used to, so don't be fooled by the art style. This can be tricky. The demo takes about 10 to 15 minutes to play, so it doesn't take too much of your time. So give it a download from Steam. It's really good fun with some really creative levels. There's no release date as of this recording, however, I'm anxiously awaiting the full release. After all the craziness of Bits and Bops, I need to chill, and this next game looks like it's going to deliver that in spades. So let's take a gentle trip down the river with Naiad. From HiWarp Studio, Naiad is described as a relaxing, minimalist, colourful adventure. You play as the Naiad, and in classical mythology is described as a nymph presiding over bodies of fresh water. You flow through the water, interacting with the plant and animal life around you to discover secrets. Now, this game was recommended to me by my partner Jemmy, to the words of, "This seems like a game that's right up your alley." I watched the trailer and I was instantly hooked, and I added it to my Steam wishlist as I needed to play this when it's released. A demo was released last year which I sadly missed out on, but from checking out clips of it on YouTube, I'm very excited to see more of the game in the future. The art style in this is described as very colourful, and one thing that caught my eye is everything in the game has a very sketchy look to it, particularly when it comes to the colours and shadows. It's like as if this was a drawing. You can really see the pencil marks on the page. Really gives it a homemade vibe, like as if the game has been made by someone for you to play. This feels like the sort of game you could use to describe cozy gaming to someone. There's no health meters, no time limits, and just generally no pressure. From the looks of things, you are just free to flow through the water and explore to your heart's content. As far as I know, it just has a 2023 release year, so no firm release date as of yet, which I'm absolutely fine with, as this is a solo developed game, and I'd rather them take their time and release this when they're ready. However, I'm really looking forward to getting some time with this. I can see myself being wrapped up in a blanket, the lights dimmed, and just flowing through the river and having a grand old time. We come to the final game I want to highlight today, and this one, admittingly, has been talked about a lot on YouTube in these kind of videos. However, after I checked out the demo, I knew I needed to mention it here. So get your scuba gear on as we dive into Loddlenaut. Loddlenaut is a cozy underwater survival game that takes place on an ocean planet. Play as an interstellar custodian who is sent to clean up the pollution left behind by a mysterious corporation, and befriend some cute creatures along the way. Basically, the goal of this is to make the underwater world you're in habitable again. Now, one thing that got me curious about this when reading an interview with the devs, they said they took inspiration from games like Abzu. Now, you know how much I love Abzu, so I had to check this one out. As soon as the demo started, I instantly felt very relaxed and cozy. This is thanks to the beautiful visuals and the soundtrack. I love how the colours of the plant life, animals, and your characters pop out against the blue of the ocean. It gave me a kind of Game Boy Advance vibes with the graphic style. The soundtrack is wonderful and I can't wait to hear more pieces from this. I can already tell that this will be added to my iTunes library once it's available. If you love the satisfying feeling you get when playing games like Power Wash Sim and The Gunk, then you will love this. As said previously, your character is tasked with cleaning up the ocean. As you clear sections, you really get that sense of accomplishment, and that percentage counter in the top corner keeps you hunting for pollution to clean. There is an oxygen meter which might worry some players. After playing this was not a worry at all. Once you start cleaning plant life, they emit oxygen bubbles, so you can easily keep your tank full, giving you free rein to explore the ocean and clean to your heart's content. I'd really recommend giving the demo a try on Steam, as I had a blast playing it. To be honest, when the pop-up appeared at the end saying thanks for playing, I just kept playing. There was nothing to do, but I could just wander around listening to the soundtrack to my heart's content. There's no release date as of yet, just a 2023 release year. So that's my list of new games I'm excited to get my hands on this year. What games are you excited for this year? Let me know in the comments. If you like this video, then feel free to press the like, subscribe and notification bell so you know when a new video goes live or when I'm live streaming on the channel. Thanks for watching. If you like list videos, then feel free to check this video out where I talk about games from my backlog. Thanks again, and I'll see you on the next quest.